So here's why I'm so interested in this topic. Let me because the audience is thinking, why on earth is Nehemia talking about Mormonism? Why I'm interested is my main field is the Tanakh, or the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, and I also do a lot of stuff on the New Testament, and I dabble, just barely dabble in Islam, just because it's one of the three great Abrahamic religions, and we have zero information about Moses from his time other than the Torah, which you could debate whether, scholars will debate whether Moses had anything to do with the Torah or whether he existed. I believe he did, but that's a faith statement, not a academic statement. And then Jesus, we know a little bit more. We have things from, within 100 years, more from about his followers, where the Romans will say, there are these people causing trouble who follow this, person named Christus. They don't even call him Christ, right? In the earliest sources. And then for Islam, we really don't have anything for the first 200 years, of almost nothing. But for Joseph Smith, who's the founder, Joseph Smith Jr., who's the founder of Mormonism, I mean, we have his trial records from before he even wrote the Book of Mormon, or translated, according to believers in Mormonism, the Book of Mormon. I mean, it's the type of thing you would dream about for studying Moses or Jesus or Muhammad. So I think it's an incredible analogy on just so many levels, both an analogy and a contrast, right? Look, if you believe in Islam, then you believe that angel Gabriel, and I might be getting this wrong because I'm not an expert in Islam, but I think they believe that angel Gabriel dictated the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad, right? And Mormons believe, well, actually, you'll tell us what early Mormons believe, hopefully, or what you think early Mormons believe about how Joseph Smith wrote the Book of Mormon. But it's incredible that we have people offering, or not just offering, pushing an alternative narrative and saying, no, that's a lie. And they're writing this within, I think, even less than a year of when the Book of Mormon was published. Is that right?
Actually, newspaper accounts appeared before the book was published.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's incredible.
In 1829, it was published in March of 1830.
Wow, and he almost got into a fist fight over someone who was trying to plagiarize or steal the Book of Mormon and publish it in his newspaper. It's incredible stuff.
Well, you would think you would be in a better situation with so much being published, but it's still hotly contested. Just about every little thing involved with early Mormon origins is hotly contested. There's a whole group of apologists trying to defend the traditional view. And the traditional view really doesn't appear until like 1838, with Joseph Smith writing his official history. But before 1838, there was quite an evolution that comes up, and the apologists want to try to make it appear that nothing had changed that much, during that period of time. And people like me, scholars like me, who study Mormon origins, like to focus on the development of ideas, and that Joseph Smith just didn't pop out, the way it is taught even in 1838, let alone today. Because changes continually occur. But Joseph Smith used the writing of history, his own history, to shape his story as time went on, and to change it into a more mainstream Christian story. Before that, it was kind of non-traditional mixture of magic, folk magic. When I talk about magic, I'm talking about folk magic, or ceremonial magic is Joseph Smith's early training as a treasure seer. And we'll get into that, no doubt.
Let's get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
Well, and then as time went on, his little particular culture in which Mormonism was planted and nourished and started growing, that little culture was too narrow to attract a larger audience. And so the story finally, as time went on, lost those particular cultural attributes and became more and more not totally mainstream Christianity, but more appealing to a larger audience of Christians in America. The way they viewed things anyway at that time in the 19th century.